What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the OddsShopper channel, coming to you with a Monday Night Football edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a present of our great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Hit both of those locks. Ended up upgrading Devon Achane because the number kept coming down. Finished at minus 135 on FanDuel. He scores in the less than 10 minutes of that slate. There were people in our Discord who fired him up as the first guy to score a touchdown on the entire Sunday slate. I have no idea how you even look into that market and analyze it. I absolutely loved to see it. And Sam Darnold, 250 plus passing yards. I mean, that was just an automatic lock. The locks have been absolutely smashing basically all NFL season long. After the first 2 weeks of the season, we have been running amok. Hopefully you've been taking advantage. Hopefully you've been tailing, and you can tail everything I have over in tails, 50% off using Lindy50. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we don't have producer Jacob today. We have producer Jordan Klein, the OG behind the virtual desk. I'm excited about it. You should be excited about it too. Hit that like button for him, if not for me. But I'm going to break down everything on Monday Night Football. We got Cincy visiting Dallas in Jerry World. That'll be a fun one. Let's get right to it. Producer Jordan Klein. Let's get to this. This is going to be a really fast video because I think everybody expects offense here. I don't know how you don't. Cincy minus 5.5 taking on Dallas. I've brought up this number multiple times, but EPA, something that you should really care about. We're looking at expected points for plays on the run, on the ground, and also through the pass. And Cincinnati, when perfectly healthy, when T. Higgins is out there playing a full allotment of snaps, T. Higgins changes the entire complexion of this Cincinnati offense, which is why they're 5.5-point favorites against Dallas, despite being 4-8. Let me repeat this. They're 5.5-point favorites on the road against a 5-7 Dallas team. It is unbelievable to look at, but it all makes sense when you just look at that offense alone, because with T. Higgins in, you have number one. They're the number one offense in terms of EPA with the run and the pass in all of football. Now, they're number one in PFF grading offensively. Defensively, there's a lot that is lacking. I think we can all understand that one here as well, which leads to shootout after shootout. But the reason you're only looking at 49.5 here is obviously Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush still breeds a little bit of uncertainty into this game, into the flow of it, and what we're expecting. However, the more I run simulations of this, the more I fall in love with the over. But we'll get into that here a little bit more. As for injury news that we are waiting for, looks like it's going to be pretty clean considering Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they've been dinged up from time to time. It is what it is, but we kind of know everything. Wilson, Hill, Turner, Brown, all of them on IR right now. Zach Moss as well from the running back position for the Cincinnati Bengals, which has led, despite the fact that they go out and acquire Khalil Herbert, a ton of Chase Brown, like nearly 80-90% that we're looking at for a snap share day in, day out. Now, the big piece of news, I think, for the entire game, and something that does kind of matter for just about everything you're looking at, Tyron Smith, one of the best guards in football out there for the Dallas Cowboys. He is questionable entering this one. If you get Tyler Smith off the field, you've got a major problem. But the Tulsa Golden Hurricane days of your first round pick, he's going to help out a lot because Tyler Guyton is not the dude over there on the left tackle position. It is problematic overall. So the blind side here for Cooper Rush, and with CeeDee Lamb, a shoulder injury, but he's going to be playing through it. And Jalen Tolbert and Brandon Cooks back out there, although 2.5 being his reception prop across the industry. Not a great complexion we have for this offense going forward. But let's start giving you some plays, shall we? Because that's what you're here for. Wanted to set the stage. Let's go to the lean department, where I think there are two plays that I'm really staring down and trying to figure out what I want to do. Now, there's only one NBA game, so I might end up a little bit more invested in Cincy Dallas than what even I was thinking coming in. But Joe Burrow over 8.5 rushing yards. Brought this up before where, Dallas, you can get after them on the run. 31st in the NFL, nearly 150 yards they're giving up per game. Obviously, most of that is to the running back position. That's how football works. But we've got Joe Burrow here and a Cincinnati team that if they lose this game, they're going to pack it in. Joe Burrow, too much money that he costs. You've got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Decisions to be made in terms of the franchise tag and who to be signing after the fact. But if you go to 4-9, you're dead in the AFC. Period. End of story. They'll start packing it in. And plus, those two wide receivers, I mean, oh, my hamstring hurts. You might need to find something that gets you off the field when you're worth as much money as both of them are. And T. Higgins, that contract is going to be absurd when it comes to the postseason. So this is going to be a Cincinnati throws everything they can at the wall, both offensively and defensively, which I think brings Joe Burrow running the football into play a little bit more. He only has 160 rushing yards on the season. Obviously, we need to be worried about his mean and his median relative to each other. His average, his mean is 13.3. I've got his median rate around 11. However, if he doesn't get after it there. Or if Cincinnati ends up ahead really, really quickly, which 5.5 spread, there's lots of ways that this play goes south. However, the more I run it, the more it's slightly positive EV, I'm thinking about adding it here to the card based on what else shows up and how these lines move. But T. Higgins, anytime touchdown. If you've been following this program, you know how obsessed I am with him. I think he's the better wide receiver between him and Jamar Chase, which is probably a hot take to a lot of people. But you just look at the numbers. Cincinnati is functional with T. Higgins on the field and not Jamar Chase. They are not functional without T. Higgins on the field. So it is what it is. I'm looking at his anytime touchdown numbers, but I want a little bit better than what I'm looking at here at the moment. I want inside of that. Like, I want better than the plus 150, plus 160 type numbers. So those are two things I'm paying attention to. But the Joe Burrow one, that goes in the lean category first. All right, let's start the plays that we actually have, and two of them have already been posted to the premium Discord. That's how this works, because I want them to get the information first. I try to get everything out to them because, well, they're paying for information, and right now it's only, $20 for a week, $50 for a month, but you can get it 50% off with that code. Just throwing it out there. We'll talk about that in a second. But I love the over of 49.5 here. I don't love it enough to make it a full unit send. It is a half unit play for me, but throw it up on the screen, Jordan Klein. 49.5. A couple of the reasons why. One, I think Dallas, yes, they've gotten healthier on the defensive side of things, and that is very, very important. And, there's a pass rush in Hendrickson on the Cincinnati side too, but Micah Parsons, he'll be out there. He is very, very important. We've seen massive upside when he goes out and, wrecked against Washington, and then they wrecked against Washington, although that's Washington. Against the Giants at home on Thanksgiving. Does that even count when it's the Giants? I'm not sure if it does or not, but we're going to pay close attention to Trayvon Diggs as well. He's the defensive piece here. I'm hoping that he ends up out. He tends to be one of those guys who, what's the right word for it? He tries to intercept everything as opposed to like playing the man at times. He probably goes for too many balls at times, but whomever is behind him is a massive downgrade compared to his talent level. That opens up 49.5 to go up to 51.5, 52.5. And I think that's what will happen. That will definitely, I think, happen if Trayvon Diggs is out. Not many defensive players that are going to move a line a point. He is one of them, maybe a 1.5. So just wanted to throw that out. 49.5. I think this is positive EV now. It could look really good based on how that injury news comes out. And I would want Smith in at the guard position there for Dallas as well. So pay attention to the injury news. However, not a lot of ways that I don't think offense is on the mend here. Plus Rico Dowdle playing better at the running back position for Dallas. Before we get ourselves into that lock, everybody, 50% off using code Lindy50. I talked to the higher ups and I said, hey, look, I know 60% off for Black Friday, for Cyber Monday was a big hit. Everybody loved it. Everybody really appreciated that. Can we get something that we can have in forever for the people who want to try out the product, who want to jump into the Discord and use the OddsShopper app in conjunction with everything? Well, luckily, we got it done, everybody. 50% off down at the link below. That is just $10 for a week to come hang out with me and get all of my plays for a week. Test it out. You don't like it, you're down $10. Sounds great. If you love it, well, you can jump in at the $20 a week or $50 a month tag. However, if you want to try it out for a full month from now until January 8th, you would have an opportunity to do so for just $25. That is less than $1 a day. So check it out, Lindy50 down at the link below. And with that, let's get you to the lock. I've ran the numbers, everybody, and it looks as though Dallas's defense is not like it was in the days of yore. Now, I will throw this out there. Micah Parsons, he's been out for a lot of this season, and that's definitely going to make some of the numbers that we have here on the Dallas side look a little bit worse than what they are with him on the field. He's that kind of a difference maker for any defense, let alone a defense that is lacking in just about every other category. Again, Trayvon Diggs could be out here for this one as well, but Micah Parsons, run defense grade, not even all that great in PFF, but he is one of the best pass rushers, and he keeps a lot of teams honest. But that being said, I don't see how Chase Brown isn't an absolute smash at 74.5 yards. Yes, it's just a little bit more than I would want at minus 120, where you have to have like a win probability above 58, 59% in order to be a winner long term. But I love this play still, even despite those numbers, for a couple of reasons. First, he's playing like 90% of snaps in almost all situations. Second of all, Khalil Herbert was acquired to be a backup or kind of an insurance policy, if I can throw it out there. He's had one carry with the Cincinnati Bengals. He's been out there in pass pro a little bit, but if you're trying to win one football game to define your season, and it's a big one for Cincy, they need to re-sign Jamar Chase somehow, some way. T. Higgins, probably going to have to walk, but franchise tagging Mr. Jamar Chase as it is, but the more I run it with Chase Brown, I mean, it's 147.6 yards per game, 31st in the NFL that the Dallas Cowboys are giving up. And we've only seen 2 games now with Chase Brown being the absolute bell cow of bell cows. But they faced the Chargers defense and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. This is going to feel like a Swedish massage out there for Chase Brown relative to those 2 matchups. And before that, 13 carries against Baltimore as he started to ascend into that RB1 role where now with Zach Moss on the sideline, he is going to be the full send all the time here. So yeah, the last 2 weeks, not indicative of what we're going to have here in this spot against Dallas. And as such, Chase Brown, 74.5 yards is by far my favorite play. I'm sure I'm going to add something else to the card by tomorrow. There's only one NBA game, so be on the lookout if you're in the Discord. Hit me up on X at Eric Lindquist if you have any questions. But Chase Brown, over 74.5 rushing yards, by far my favorite play from Monday Night Football. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know that you smashed Devon Achane, Sam Darnold, 250-plus passing yards, which, oh boy, how automatic was that? Thank you, Jordan Klein, for filling in for the great Jacob as well. Producer Jacob enjoying himself a little 2-day holiday, as he should. Hopefully you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I know that was a little bit ago here as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the early session of the December holiday season, whatever it is that you're celebrating. We got a couple of weeks till Christmas. Let's keep it rocking. And if you want to join the Discord, Lindy50 gets it done. Let's get out of here. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NFL streets on Monday night.